Good morning, Kip One Primary. This is Mr. Jennings. Like we do with every lesson, I'm going to start off with our excellence mantra. I hope that you guys had a great Thanksgiving and that you can see some of the things that you are thankful for and were able to be around your family, just have some fun. So let's jump right into our excellence mantra. Respect what's mine, respect what's not. Respect our time, respect all thought. Work hard, try your best, take heart, shake the stress. Be kind and never give up. Rain or shine, I am enough. Let's read that together again. Respect what's mine, respect what's not. Respect our time, respect all thought. Work hard, try your best, take heart, shake the stress. Be kind and never give up. Rain or shine, I am enough. So lastly, we just talked about I am enough. We're gonna go back to the top, talking about respecting what's mine. We've already talked about a lot of respecting what's mine. And so this is just a quick checkpoint, making sure that you're showing love to your things, showing love to yourself, showing love to your brain, showing love to your body. These are all ways that you can respect what's mine. There's rather your materials, your toys, your game, your family, anything. You're going to respect those things, or even respecting yourself. And so when you're talking about respecting yourself, that's making sure that you're saying kind words to yourself, not unkind words. Make sure that you are saying things that are positive, not negative. And you're doing the same thing with your brain and body. Your brain going to say kind things to your brain, not things like I can't. You say things like I can. You make sure that you know that you can do anything you put your mind to. Showing love to your body is doing those same things, saying respective things to your body, making sure that you're saying positive things while also making sure that you're taking care of your body by eating the right things. Make sure that you're exercising. Maybe you can do that with Mr. Flores with your gym videos, but making sure that you're also taking care of your body during quarantine, because it's an easy way to make your body not feel so great if you're not working it out, if you're not putting the right foods into it, if you're just eating candy and treats all day, that's not respecting your body, it's not showing love to your body. So let's jump into our lesson, exploring identity and community. This is lesson 5, connecting to the past. Learning objectives. In this lesson, Kipsters will be able to make connections between the history and literature they study and their current lived experiences. Kipsters will also be able to understand identity is dynamic, complex, and personal. It affects both how we see ourselves and how we interact with others. Kipsters will also be able to understand our environment influences how we understand ourselves and others. Let's jump right in. We talked about these 3 essential questions that we're going to look at every lesson through our entire unit. What makes me who I am? What parts of my identity do I choose for myself? And what parts are determined for me by others, by society, or by chance? How does my identity influence the choices available to me and the choices that I make? How can we work together to build kinder and more inclusive school and local communities? Essential questions for this lesson. So this lesson, these are the 2 questions that we're going to be focusing on. What is the identity of the United States and how do I fit into it? How does each person's story contribute to the larger narrative of United States history? So in the United States, it is our country. This is the country that we live in. It has 50 states, and we form a big family. So our whole country are all our American people. So once you come into the United States, we have a bigger picture, and we are. The idea is for us to all be one country, that is one nation, that is working to better ourselves. So we want to be a big family with the entire country. That is the idea of what it is to be American. How does each person's story contribute to the larger narrative of United States history? Now, this is a tougher question, but thinking of it in a larger sense, each person, like your family, we all built every type of race, everything that you identify as, all of our people have built the country that we live in, which is the United States. We've all done something to contribute to our country to make it better. This is the Flag of Faces. This is an exhibit at the Ellis Island Immigration Museum, and it features a mosaic of individual portraits. So these are just portraits of different people who live in our country. We can see different portraits, and a portrait is just a picture of yourself. So these are different pictures of people who live in our country. You can see from this picture that we all have different faces, and we all look different. I see some white skin, some yellow, some brown. So we see all type of different faces on top of this portrait or of the self portraits. But we also see that the portrait is on the flag. So this is the American flag. And it has different faces because we all live here in America, although we have different identities and we have different races. So let's analyze the flag of faces. We'll have a class discussion of image based on these prompts. What flag is represented in this image? What faces are represented? What do you notice about the variety of faces? What do you think the representation of a flag is meant to symbolize? And they just give us a brief synopsis. This is the image of a part of an interactive digital exhibit in the Museum of Historic Ellis Island. So this isn't a question, this is just telling you where this picture actually is. So let's go back to the flag. So what flag is represented in this image? Thinking about that, give you a couple seconds. What flag do you see? I kind of talked about it before. It's the American flag. So the American flag is in the back. What faces are represented? We see different identities and different races inside of this flag. That's because you can see any identity and see any face and any race inside of our country. We have all different types. What do you think this representation of a flag is meant to symbolize? It's meant to symbolize that we are one nation, one country, that we can look different, we can identify as different things, we can be different races, but we can all be one country trying to make ourselves better. So everyone in this picture, not just in this picture, but all these different races, identities, we're all trying to make our country a better place where we can all be equal, all be a family, and all try to strive for success. So we're about to read and discuss this story. It's called Coming to an America Story. In this text, journalist Maria Hinojosa described how she learned from her mother to find and use her voice, even when she feels powerless. Hinojosa begins the reading by noting that having a Coming to America story is a universal experience, even for non-immigrants, since everyone has a story about how they arrived in their present life and circumstances. So let's jump right into this story. Coming to America, Finding Your Voice. In 2010, journalist Maria Hinojosa shared her Coming to America story in the foreword to a book of writing by Boston High School students. And I'm going to start reading this story now, so make sure you're listening. We all have a Coming to America story. Whether you were brought to this country as a baby immigrant like me, or whether you were born in South Boston, we all have a story of how we got to this here being the United States of America. When I was almost 2 years old, my mom traveled from Mexico by plane with me and my two older brothers and sister. We were on our way to meet my dad, who had already moved to Chicago, and this is the city that we all live in as well. We would live there for first and then make our way to Brookline. I'm guessing they mean Brooklyn, making our way to Brooklyn. But on this day, we had to pass the immigration checkpoint at the Dallas airport before we made our connection to Chicago. The super tall Texan immigrant agent with super thick accent towered over my 5-foot tall mom, who also had a very thick accent, a Mexican one. The agent inspected all of our green cards, looked my mom and 4 kids up and down and apparently sideways, and then he bellowed out an order. "You are welcome to come into this country," he said, his jaw lingering. But then he looked at me. "Everyone but that little baby. I can see a rash on her skin, and she will have to stay in quarantine." My mom didn't feel very powerful, as she was being looked down upon in order to leave her baby behind in a new country. But she reacted deep down inside and found her power in her gut and puffed up all the 5 feetness of her tiny body as tall as she could. And then, as if a volcano erupted inside her, she found her voice. She trusted her voice, and she looked up at the agent and said, "No, sir, I will not leave my daughter here with you. She is coming with me. She is not sick, and I will not leave without her. Do you hear me? I will not leave here. I will not leave her here." The tall Texan suddenly felt very small next to my mother's big and powerful voice. "Yes, ma'am," he said. "You can all come in. I am sorry." Ever since I heard my Coming to America story, I have used it as an inspiration to find my own gut, my own power, my own voice when I feel powerless. If mom could do that almost 50 years ago, tiny and accented in a new country, I can surely find my own voice when I feel tiny and unheard and powerless. Sometimes when you feel invisible, it's easy to feel voiceless. And when you feel voiceless, then you learn how to not use your voice. And when you don't use your voice, you don't hear yourself. And when you don't hear yourself, it's hard to trust who you are. But with my coming to America story, my mom showed me that words are power. Your voice is your instrument, whether you speak with an accent or not, write, sing, or shout. It can be a literal sound, or it can be your voice on a piece of paper or a computer screen. But it is yours, and it comes from your gut. So maybe you should trust it. I remember thinking because I was a bit different, no one else saw the world like I did. I was a Mexican immigrant kid growing up on the south side of Chicago. There weren't a lot of other kids like me. I did feel different. I felt small. At times, I felt voiceless. I thought I was the only student who felt powerless and not part of the real America. I know that that wasn't the case. I know now that many kids feel different, but we just didn't talk about this ever. Now that we read the story Coming to America by Maria Hinojosa, we're going to ask some questions. What does here mean at the end of the first paragraph, and why do you think it is in quotation marks? Here, when she said here, she was talking about the US of A, the United States of America, the country we live in. What details does Hinojosa include to describe the difference between her mother and the immigration agent? How do those details support the statement, my mom didn't feel very powerful? She uses their heights and him being a government agent. So her mom was coming into a new country, was the United States of America, with her brothers and sisters, and she didn't feel very powerful because she was Mexican and she spoke Spanish, and she was coming into a new country. Think about when you first came into kindergarten, or when you first went into a daycare or preschool or after school, and you come in and you don't know anyone. It's very new and you're kind of quiet at the beginning. You're trying to see what's going on because you've never been there before. Same with her mom, but even on a bigger platform because she was coming to a whole different country, which is like super, super big. And so she was nervous at first. How does Hinojosa's mother make the big Texan feel small? So she makes him feel small by standing up for herself, her family, and not letting him make her leave her baby by using her big and powerful voice. So when the large Texan agent told her to that the baby Maria would have to quarantine, the mom said, "No, I'm going to keep my baby. She is not sick." And we are not going to depart from each other. She wasn't going to let him take the baby or make him keep the baby there in a new country by herself. And she used her big and powerful, strong voice to tell him that. So he knows that she was very serious and meant business. What lesson does Hinojosa say she learned from her mother in her coming to America story? Her mom showed her that words are power, that your voice is your instrument. Whether you speak with an accent or not, write, sing, or shout, it can be literal sound or it can be your voice on a piece of paper or a computer screen, but it's yours and it comes from your gut. So maybe you should trust it. So this is um, the um, the exact words that she used inside of that passage to speak from your gut. So your gut is like here, like in the middle. Speaking from your gut, being strong, being powerful. It's just like when we say speak up or we say use your loud and proud voice. You speak from your gut. You trust your gut. You trust yourself. You trust what you say, and you're powerful when you do those things. What is Hinojosa saying about the value of each person's story? Hinojosa is saying that even though our stories are different, they can teach us things for our future. So even though we all have different stories, and some of your stories might be similar to Maria's story, but some of you may have different stories. But no matter what that story is, you can learn from it, and you can make sure that you are also using her story by making sure you use your big and powerful voice all the time. Finally, what message is Hinojosa trying to deliver to young people who might feel alone or different? She's letting you know that it is okay to use your big and powerful voice and to learn from your parents. At school, we always say, talk loud and proud, speak loud and proud, to trust yourself, to believe in yourself. We say these things because we don't want you to answer questions. You're like, hey, the number, if I say one, what's one plus one? You say, oh, one plus one is two. I want to say use your loud and proud voice. Speak with and trust yourself. So when you say your answer, say 1 + 1 is 2. I know because 1 and 1 makes 2. You speak that with authority. You say that very powerful. You use your gut to say your answer. You use your loud and proud voice. So we seen that flag of faces at the beginning. We also have a mural at our school of all of our Kipsters, and it has different faces and different portraits in different colors, and it just shows the importance of family in our school. We also want you guys to know this is our school, our community, and that we all are going to be here for each other. So we also have a mural of Kipsters at our school, just like we seen with those that flag of portraits. And so what we're going to do next in this lesson, well, not next, but what you can turn in this lesson is a family picture. So this should be you and your family, and you can send those pictures straight to my email, which will be at the end of our lesson. And this will help to have more of a picture of our community, of our school, of our families. And because we have some students who've never been to our school, we'll be able to have different pictures of everyone at our school, so we can be able to know the different families and the different students that we have in our school. And we'll put this mural up in our school when we come back from quarantine. Let's go over our lesson objectives. We talked about at the beginning that kids will be able to make connections between the history and literature they study and their current lived experience. And we've seen this with Maria Hinojosa, seeing her history, how she came to America, and then how she uses that history to make sure that she always speaks powerful. And she's a journalist now, so that means that she uses her voice a lot. Kips will also be able to understand identity is dynamic, complex, and personal, and it affects both how we see ourselves and how we interact with others. So all of our stories are different, and some may be similar to Maria's, but it's not exactly the same because most of our stories are personal to us, and it's dynamic and complex because they're all not the same. Kipsters will also be able to understand our environment influences how we understand ourselves and others. As we understand each other, so when we see our different families and different people that are in our school, we can see our different stories and how we all look different, and also understand that all of our stories are different, and that'll help us understand each other a little bit more. This is My Thanksgiving by Kamoria Stansel, which is one of our awesome fourth graders. And let's see what she shared with us. This is from the work that Mr. Dennis asked you guys to turn in last week. Kamoria did an awesome job. So let's see what one of our fourth grade leaders said about her Thanksgiving. What I am thankful for, I'm thankful for my family and even my step family. Is the best thing for all of my step and real sisters. Hello, it's Thanksgiving and I don't really like any of you, but doesn't mean I don't love you. And even though I'm not around your age, like really, but I still have a good time with you and Alea. I think that's how you spell it. But next slide, please. Stop talking and move to the next slide. Kamoria, she was very truthful. So you might not get along with everyone, but making sure that you love everyone and that you respect them is very important. What I am thankful for as far as school, first school, and Miss Smith, Miss Yak, Mr. Bell, others, Miss Smith, Miss Muhammad, Miss White, Miss forgot her name, and all my other teachers from kinder all the way to fourth grade. And I forgot one person. Well, two more. Miss Usher, Miss Hunt. Dang, I forgot Miss Fang. Well, anyways, here she is. So she just telling about Kamoria has been in our school since she was in kindergarten. She's just thankful for all of her teachers, even if she forgot their name at the moment, and saying this is what she's thankful for about school. She knows that our teachers put in a lot of work, and that she has learned from them, and she is now one of our leaders in our school. I have a lot of siblings and I love them all, but the turkey the most. Just kidding. My family first and my turkey last. What am I thankful for Christmas? All my gifts. I'm going to just change this a little bit. Okay. What I am thankful for Christmas, all of my gifts is loads of them. Let me show you. Okay, it's not my real tree, but still thankful of it. Duh. So we have a picture of a Christmas tree and the gifts that Kamoria is going to receive. And she's just thankful for all of her gifts. And she has loads of them and she's thankful for them. When you get your presents for Christmas, be thankful for them because Santa Claus and your parents and people in your family, they bought these gifts for you to be happy, but you also need to show thankfulness. So thank you, Kamoria. And peace out. Bye. Very good, Kamori. I'm so proud of you for doing this, and thank you for sending this to me. You also were the winner of our $10, and so you'll be getting that.
Hey, it's me, Duetto. And I'm thankful for helping my mom do all the chores. And I'm thankful for helping Lela for doing all her chores. And I'm thankful for Jay to do his stuff so he can do everything by himself and he can do it by himself. So I'm thankful for that.
I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for Mommy's thankful for me because I love her and her's my mom. Right, Mommy?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Kamoria and Roberto, on sending in what you were thankful for. These videos were super awesome, super cute. Roberto, the nice meeting you for our first time in our lesson, and you were one of the first kindergartners to send a video by yourself. So because of that, I also sent you $10. So not only did Kamoria win $10, also Roberto won $10. So it was super awesome this week. Next week, all you have to do is send a picture of you and your family to be in our raffle to win $10. See you guys next week. Hope you guys had an awesome day and an awesome week. All right, catch you.